Hi, Cindy. This is Andre Coles over at Amherst Preserve Digital. Thank you for taking the time to review this video. I'm going to try to keep it to under 15 minutes so I don't take up too much of your time. But I wanted to send you a video to give you a follow-up, an easy way for you to review some of the information that I shared with you earlier today regarding sales engine optimization for your website and in general, all websites that help push websites to page one of search engine results for Google and ultimately Bing and Yahoo, but specifically Google, so that you can be seen by people who are looking for what service you have to offer. So as I mentioned, Google is a company that prides itself on customer service. People search for information, they type in search strings, and what Google does is it reads through every single website that's available, every page in every website, and it indexes the information so that when someone searches for strategic consulting, they know to bring, Google knows to bring the results up for specific pages that has that information, as opposed to sending them to, let's say, an athletic store's website or to a plumber's website. And so there are really three things that Google looks for in terms of making sure that pages rank properly, and that is content, that is citations, and that is backlinks. From a content standpoint, when I look at your website looks good, you have plenty of content, and it is crisp, as I mentioned in my email. Though when it comes to the word count, your word count is short. So I copied and pasted your information, all the data that's on your homepage, into a word counter, and we came up with 272 words. So there's an opportunity to add more content to your homepage, specifically with keywords. That way, when people are searching for specific information regarding consulting, regarding business planning, regarding coaching and executive coaching, your website will pop up. The second thing that I wanted to mention, or that I mentioned to you, was citations. A citation is essentially when one website lists a company's name, address, and phone number on its website. The more citations, the more proper citations as you have, meaning citations on websites that deal with your niche or your area of business, the more reputable Google will think that your business is and will move it towards page one of search results and hopefully getting you towards that number one spot. The third item that I mentioned are backlinks. And a backlink is very similar to a citation in that another website lists your URL. With more companies and other websites that list your URL, that point to your website, as Google searches through all those other pages and it starts to reindex and reindex and reindex, that moves your company's website up in terms of relevance for Google for those specific keywords. And so now I want to show you some examples of how this all plays out. The first thing I want to say is when we spoke, I said it looks like you do not have a Google My Business page. I was wrong. Unfortunately, when I was looking at my phone didn't show Google's responses the way that my laptop does. So if I click here, when I search for strategic transformation consulting, I see right here that you do have a Google My Business page. So you're off on the right path, on the right track. So fantastic. One thing that you're going to want to do, when I look here, I see you already have reviews, but your Google My Business page is the first citation that you're going to have. You have your name, your company name and your phone number, but you need an address. So you or your assistant needs to go into the Google My Business page and update it with an address. Now, unfortunately, Google does not like virtual addresses. So if you're going to put in an address, you need to make sure you put it in an actual physical address. That way Google can map to that address. So if you are working from home and you don't want to use your home address, then consider what address you want to use. And the reason why I say this is because once your address is inserted in here, if you change it, Google may unverify your Google My Business page, and then you're gonna have to go back and re-verify it with the new address. But I've already checked for another client. Google does not like virtual addresses, so I highly recommend that you do not use a virtual address. So with that being said, your Google My Business page is good. So that's citation number one that you need. The second thing that I wanted to discuss is keywords. So when I take a look at Ahrefs, and Ahrefs is one of those companies that buys data from Google and then sells it back to others. They aggregate it and they sell it. I can look at your website and any other website and see how many keywords you have. I can also see right here under reference domains how many citations are out there with your company's name, address, and phone number on it. And I can see how many backlinks, other websites that point to your web address. So currently you don't have any backlinks, nor do you have any referring domains. You do have two keywords that are pulling in traffic, and those two keywords that I click on here are strategic and transformation consulting, strategic and transformation consulting. What you want to do is build up the number of keywords that you have so that you will have more items that Google can reference when people are looking for something that can bring them to your website. Because we can see right here within the last month, your keywords have brought one viewer to your website. Now, when it comes to getting you to page one of search results and keywords, keywords are very important because there are various keywords that will pull in different results. So for example, here I search for strategic consulting, the Woodlands, Texas. And your company, Strategic Transformation Consulting, appears, but you appear on page 7, as you see here, page 7 of the search results, not on page 1. And when you go to Google and you don't need to worry about logging in or trying to buy any data, you can just search in Google and ask the question, how many people go past page 1 of the Google search results? And you'll see that roughly 1 to 4% of people go past page 1. Not very many people do. Also, you can ask the question, how many people click on page 1 of, or excuse me, result number 1 of Google search results? And the answer is around 27%. So it's really important that your business lands on page 1 of Google search results, because people aren't going to go past page 1, past page 2, all the way down to page 7 looking for a specific, or excuse me, looking for any business, unless they're looking for something specific and they have patience. So when I go to page 1 of Strategic Consulting, the Woodlands, we see this company here, Haney and Company, Business Consulting and Advisory in the Woodlands. This is their website. Now, it looks like this is a company that is not based in the Woodlands, but they have an office in the Woodlands. However, when I pull up their Woodlands information in that same website, Ahrefs, I can see that they have 6 keywords on their website. And as we dive into these keywords, we see Business Consulting Houston, Business Consultants Houston, Business Consultant Houston, working its way down. It would be fairly simple to match and exceed the keywords that this company has. And they're ranking number 1 in terms of business consulting for the Woodlands. Now, if I go to Executive Coaching the Woodlands, we see here in slot number 4, Executive Coaching Brian Weaver. I'm skipping past results 1, 2, and 3 because number 1 is just someone who is an executive consultant on a business advisory board. Then 2, executive function and coaching skills. This is a wellness center, not what you're looking to compete against. Number 3, the Woodlands Business Coach. This is just someone who's listed in the Woodlands Chamber of Commerce. So I will click on Executive Coaching Houston through Focal Point, Brian Weaver. We can see the website. And when I click on Ahrefs, I can see that this location has 1 keyword, 2 domains or 2 citations, and 15 backlinks. Now, there is an organic way to get reference domains and backlinks by going and asking people to add you. There's also a way to purchase them. So it's easy, it seems fairly simple to move your website to page 1 of search results for executive coaching and for business consultant for the Woodlands. It may be a little more difficult to do so for the Houston area, but if I remember correctly, you have done business with businesses that are located in the city of Houston, which means that you will cover not just the Woodlands, but Spring and Houston. So in terms of keywords, you're going to want to add some keywords to your website that says Business Consulting Houston. It will say Coaching Houston, Executive Coaching Houston, and you specifically want to target that executive coach because they are the ones, those clients are going to be the ones that are going to give you the top dollar for the work that you do. And I want to take this last opportunity to show you an example of an executive coach in the Houston area. This is Kim Moore. I was looking for other websites that are businesses that offer what you offer in terms of coaching and consulting. This is Kim Moore's website. As you can see, it's a clean website. It's fairly simple. You do not need an overly expansive website to explain what it is that you do. But this is a clean website that shows who Kim is. There's an about page, just as you have an about page that explains more information about Kim, tells who she is. And as I scroll through these pictures, I can see that she did a photo shoot in the Woodlands because I recognize these bricks, the bricks that were in that previous photo. They're from the Woodlands Waterway in front of some of the townhouses. But this is fairly simple information that shows who she is. And then when it comes to services, the only service that she lists is executive coaching. Then, of course, she has her results. She has a blog just like you do, and then contact information. But you're going to want a clean looking site like this with pictures that don't have filters on them. As I mentioned, the main filter on your homepage has a filter on top of it. And this prevents people from clearly seeing you. I mean, we can see what you look like, but when I compare this picture to Kim's picture, you want to remove that filter so people can see you and your element and see who you truly are. And when I now go back to Kim's homepage, kimmoore.com, I'm going to copy this and paste this information to Ahrefs so you can see what she has going for her on her website in terms of sales engine optimization. So we see here that Kim has 60 keywords across her website. We see that she has 24 other web pages with citations and 50 backlinks that help her show up. And let me just go back to Google and I'm going to search for Executive Coaching Houston. So you can see as we search for Executive Coaching Houston, Hoff Executive Coaching is number 1. Kim Moore is number 2. I think I skipped Hoffman just because I took a look at Kim's website and it looks a little cleaner than Hoffman's, but Hoffman offers information as well. I would say if I compare Hoffman's to Kim Moore's, Kim's pictures are clearer than Hoffman's. Now, if I do copy and paste Hoffman's information into Ahrefs, press enter. Hoffman has 8 keywords, 10 referring domains, 14 backlinks. But when it comes to number 1 versus number 2, if I was just quickly looking at both websites, I'd say Kim's looks a little more professional than Hoff's. So I wanted to show you, these are folks who are ranking number 1, number 2, and they don't have too many keywords, too many backlinks, and too many citations. In some niches, in some business areas, such as roofing, I found a roofer that has 2,500 backlinks, and it would be extremely hard to rank because of the number of backlinks. It'd be extremely hard to rank because of the keywords and the difficulty of the keywords. But in terms of business consulting and executive coaching, items that you provide, it should be easy to move your website up. And when I say easy, it will take a few months because once you update the keywords, Google then has to re-index your website. And then if you choose to go ahead and purchase backlinks and citations, again, those are going to be on other websites. So at some point in time, Google has to crawl through those websites, find it, and then know that they're linking to your page. So it could be probably 3-4 months before you move up to page 1. But in terms of strategic consulting, the Woodlands, you can move up. Strategic consulting, Houston, executive coaching, the Woodlands, executive coaching, Houston. Once those keywords are added to your website and more backlinks and citations are added, your company should start moving up. And then with calls to action to contact you, that should bring more customers to your front door. And then with your sales experience, you can easily land those customers. So Cindy, this is the video. Like I said, I try to keep it under 15 minutes. We're at 14:20 right now. So I just want to say thank you for your time. If you have any questions, feel free to call me or send me an email and I will gladly answer them for you. Have a wonderful day.